So how do you know if the exercise and the movement that you are doing right now is good for your constitution or your innate body type? In this video, I'm going to relate exercise, the exercise obsession that we have going on here, any kind of movement in your body types to ancient medicine through the 5-element system in Chinese medicine, and allow you to think about what you're doing right now, whether it's good for your longevity or optimal health, and why you may not be recovering as quickly as you think. Sit tight. Welcome back to another video. My name is Jen Palco. All right, we're gonna get into exercise today. Exercise addiction, obsession, whether or not what you're doing is right for you. And I'm gonna go into the 5-element system that I like to talk about so very much. And this system stems from ancient Chinese medicine, TCM. There's 5 elements out in nature: fire, earth, metal, water, wood, but we have 5 elements within us as well that makes us move throughout the world, adapt, grow, right? Birth, death cycle. And it relates to our personality, it relates to the organ systems in our body. You know, each element is tied to a particular organ system, it's tied to all kinds of stuff within us. All right, certain meridians, and if you want to go into acupuncture. But today we're going to talk about exercise, in particular movement, even a little bit diet and seasons and stuff like that. It's a very interesting thing when you look into it. So all of us have, again, all 5 elements within us, within our innate, our strengths, our weaknesses. They tell us a lot about ourselves, how we move throughout the world, how we deal with stress in the world, what kind of ailments or things we're prone to, okay, over somebody else. So when it comes to movement, you know, usually we have 1 or 2 elements that are stronger within us, and we have a couple that are more on the weaker side. I don't want to say weaker because that doesn't sound great, but ones that are not quite as strong, put it that way. Not use the word weak, right? So I'm going to get into particularly the different body types of each element and what kind of sports or what kind of activity that type is usually attracted to, okay? And it's interesting because sometimes the movement or the exercise or the stuff that we do, say we're really into CrossFit or we're really into like MMA or something, it could actually be a sign that we're trying to balance out a deficient element. So it might not be that that is our constitution just because we like it. It might be that we are attracted to the high it gives us, the endorphins, okay? This is where exercise addiction and obsession come into play, right? We're addicted to endorphins. We're addicted to that good feeling that exercise gives us. And there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. But you have to look into, are you doing it because you're trying to cover up a sort of depression or somewhere where you are deficient, okay? Because it's gonna give you just short-term results, a superficial fix per se, like we all love, right, in the West here, like a pill, right? Take a pill for this. But it's not getting to the underlying issue underneath, the depression, right? If you're just exercising, what happens when you can't exercise anymore and you get injured, okay? So if you're doing something and it's not your constitutional type, then you may find that you get overtraining injuries, okay? You get back pain, you get all kinds of stuff. I'm gonna go into that. So we'll start off with, if you've seen I've done a bunch of other videos on the 5 elements, intro videos, videos where I go in depth into each element, personality type, or more about each particular element. So I'm going to go into each of these, and this is the system here, okay? Wood, fire, earth, metal, water, all go into a cyclical pattern in life. So this is, you know, pre-birth, birth, the height of yang, okay? Later in life, and then back to death, okay? So birth and death here goes in a circle. So each element type, we're going to start with wood here. And wood is associated with the liver, the gallbladder. It's associated with the season of spring, which we're in right now. So this is more of that yang energy. I also did a video a while ago on why January is not the best time to start a new fitness program. If you want to check that out, I'm going to put that below. The reason being that January What season? It's winter, right? It's water season, yin season, okay? Yin is about hibernation. It's about going within. It's not about like going all gung-ho 7 days a week, exercise and movement and blah, 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 because you're not in line with the season. So it's better to keep hibernating. And what do animals do? They store things, right? They go into a sleep mode so they can be ready when spring comes and things grow, things sprout out. So if you want to move with the energy of the seasons, this could be a whole nother video, which I kind of did back in January. So, you know, you can do that. You can eat with the seasons for optimal health. Okay, so this is a whole, it could go into so many different directions. But today we're going to talk about body types, all right? Keep it simple. So wood body type. These are usually people who, you think of wood like sprouting out like a tree, okay? Springtime. People are usually slim, they have long limbs. They are people who put on muscle very easily. We're all envious of them, right? They get cut really easily. So they can be short sometimes, but usually you see long limbs. They look like a tree, okay? These people are going to be attracted to, wood element has like this competitive nature, has a lot of yang energy behind it. So they may like competitive sports, okay? They may like MMA or something. They may like, you know, anything where they're winning, where they're getting to a goal, because wood is about vision. It's about getting somewhere, okay? It's about getting to a goal. So sports, all right? Big into sports. Fire people, fire element. They're usually more of a narrow frame, sloped shoulders. Fire has to do with the heart, has to do with circulation, has to do with summer. So this is the height of yang. This is the season that we will be going into very, very soon. And, you know, the height of yang, people are going to be, you know, yang energy is more upward, expansive moving, more like flighty, okay? Fire people can be a little more scattered in nature, but they like variety, okay? They like to shock the heart. They like excitement. So they may like mixing it up. They may like stuff like Zumba, stuff that's fun, gets them moving, dancing. They may like like extreme sports, okay? Fire people. Earth, going more into the yin mode, okay? So earth is going to be kind of opposite of wood, and sometimes wood overacts on earth, especially right now. In society, we're very yang, wood dominated, where we're like, we have this skinny obsession, or this obsession with looking very tight and taut. No body fat, right? Body fat is gross. But it may not be, and this may be why you have trouble losing weight, or it's going against your body, it's going against who you are. So this is also about self-acceptance, big time. And this is huge. A lot of people, we don't accept ourselves because we're trying to fit in. So we're like, all right, I'm going to do CrossFit, or I'm going to do 7 days a week of kickboxing, and never recover, and wonder why we're injured, or wonder why we're tired all the time, or we're depressed, because you're overtraining for your body type. So earth people, they're more, they have a larger frame usually, larger muscles, like the big muscles in the legs. You know, they may be a little more fleshy to them. Earth, what is earth? Earth is about grounding. Has to do with stomach, spleen, digestion. Earth is about late summer, so like those August yucky months. Right? Dampness, grounded, okay? So maybe walking. But earth element also likes to be around people. They have this nurturing aspect. Think of like the mother archetype. That is your earth, okay? Usually large breasts, right? Where like, well, I should say right, maybe you don't know that, but large breasts where like they're holding a baby, right? That nurturing aspect to them. So they may like walk in a group classes, right? Like to be around people. So that is your earth. Metal is more of a delicate frame sometimes, smaller wrists, smaller ankles. They may have wide shoulders. Metal has to do with the lungs, breathing, large intestine, letting go of stuff. So they're more on the yin side. They're not as, I don't know, I can't think of the word. They're not like earth. They're not going to love being around a lot of people. They like being around themselves a little bit more. They need, they get burnt out around too many people, too much energy, so they need time for themselves. So maybe they might be into just like solo working out, okay? Dancing, ballet, or metal is about beauty, like delicate beauty, refinement. So yeah, they may like ballroom dancing or ballet or something, even types of yoga where they're very like, I don't know, pretty movements. And then last but not least, we have the water element, okay? Water is yin, has to do with the season of winter, kidneys, urinary bladder, those are the organs associated with water. Usually strong bones, okay, because bones have to do with water element. They see wide hips. They may gain weight on the hips because supporting the kidneys, okay? Very much the kidneys. So they may like activities like, again, fluid movements, like water movements, swimming, more like yin martial arts, okay? So wood and fire are gonna be more like the yang martial arts, so like MMA or like karate or things where they're expending energy, okay? Those are gonna be the yang activities, yang sports. Yin movement, on the other hand, replenishes energy, replenishes qi, restores qi in the body, okay? So there's a big difference between those two things. So yin martial arts, something like tai chi, qigong, some types of yoga, more passive things are gonna be good for a water person. So sometimes you can tell if your constitution or if an element is out of balance. Constitutionally, you may be prone to different ailments over others, especially if you are overtraining or you're doing the wrong kind of stuff. So, you know, wood has to do with liver, gallbladder, but also has to do with tendons and ligaments. So if your wood is out of balance, you may find that you have a lot of tendon ligament issues, okay, or neck pain, okay, neck, shoulder pain, all to go with wood. Fire is about heart, it's about circulation. You may have circulation issues. Even, you know, heart, the emotional aspect. So you may have issues with sleep, insomnia, things like that. Earth, to do with the spleen and the stomach, the muscles, so you may get cramps in your muscles, that type of thing. Metal has to do with breathing, lungs, okay, so it could be respiratory issues you're prone to. And water has to do with kidneys, urinary bladder, so you may find lower back pain, okay, if the water is out of balance, lower back pain, adrenal fatigue if you're doing too much, if it's out of balance. So it's interesting when you think about it. And again, a lot of people are doing things that are not really in line to who they are. Again, I'll make mention of this wood overacting on earth aspect, because there's a lot of earthy people, okay, earthy metal people out in society, okay, that are trying to be wood, that are trying to be fire because that's what's popular. That is what is popular out in society. And everybody wants to look like, you know, small, muscular. Not everybody, but just maybe small, right? A narrow frame, when they may not be constitutionally. So it's okay to do these things, okay? If I'm a metal person, I like doing kickboxing and MMA and Muay Thai and that kind of stuff. But I know my body, okay? I know my body, and this is where you have to pay attention. This is the whole point of the video, okay? You can do any of this stuff. You have fun, do it. But know your body, know your limitations. Know that you may not recover as quick as somebody who's a wood element because they have more of that yang energy behind it, that push, that shove, where just innately, you need more time to recover. You can't do 4 days of high intensity interval training without hurting yourself, okay? Maybe you're a water person and you're trying to do HIIT workouts 4 days a week. Suddenly you develop lower back pain, impingements, okay? You get adrenal fatigue because that's not you, all right? So something to keep in mind. Or you're a wood person and you try to do like ballet and you find that you hate it. You're like, oh, why can't I do this? Why can't I get into yoga? Because constitutionally, you like that, you have that competitive nature to you, okay? So it's good to balance the yin with the yang, activity-wise, but the more you're aware of why you like the things that you like, why you gravitate to certain activities over others, because you have the energy behind it, or you have more of that restorative energy where you need to replenish yourself more, there's nothing wrong with that. Got to be okay with that. Don't listen to people out in society that are telling you, this is the way to lose weight, this is what you should do, get on this diet. I'm not a fan of that. Take in the information, but use your own discernment, use your own judgment when it comes to that kind of stuff. Because otherwise, you do too much, you're gonna get overtraining, you're gonna get lower back pain, you're gonna get some kind of like respiratory thing, you're gonna get sick, right? Your immune system, respiratory. You're gonna get muscle cramps and have deficiencies in like vitamins and minerals and all kinds of stuff. So something to keep in mind. If you want more information, I did put out an ebook a little while ago called The Mental Mind Shift Diet, where I go a little more into depth on eating with the seasons, on yang versus yin, active versus passive movements for your body and your type. So if you want to check that out, I'm going to put that below. Other than that, if you have any questions, let me know. You know, I love talking about this stuff. I think it's very interesting, and I think it can really help you discover who you are and accept yourself and know your limitations and be okay with that. Because a lot of us are like, oh, well, I don't want to be an earthy person because I don't want to be a larger frame. Well, that's you. Why are you not accepting you? So look into that. Why are you trying to be somebody who's you know, running yourself into the ground just because other people are doing it? Just because society is telling you that you need to be skinny mini and look like photoshopped Instagram models. Hell no. No. Acceptance, right? Accept yourself. Know your limitations. Do what you love. But do what you love because it's for your body and your own longevity. So, you know, unfortunately, in the Western culture, we value more the superficial layer over our own optimal health and longevity, right? We'd rather look good on the outside, but not extend years onto our life. So it's kind of backwards. Very backwards if you think about it. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. Please let me know. Subscribe. I put out new videos every single week. I'm going to put a bunch of links below to other videos and stuff that you can check out in the ebook, Mental Mind Shift Diet. I appreciate you watching, and I will see you on the next video. So have a good one. Peace.